Hello, my Juicy Co-creators. Lilou here. I'm in Mexico for part 2. These are very special, different type of interviews. Well, videos. I shouldn't say interviews because it is really Michel Domit that is sitting next to me, that is the owner of this magnificent place in Valle de Bravo, but also a wonderful teacher, is going to take the time to give us really the methodology, exactly what he's teaching and part of what he's teaching in workshops. But here, he's going to take the time to explain to us. So it's not really the interview. I'm more or less representing all of us here, hopefully. And please just watch, take your time, stop everything, turn off your phone, and take the time for yourself to listen to this. It's a bit windy. There's people around. This is life. It's happening. And we're in beautiful Mexico. In front of this amazing building, in front of the mountain that you love so much. And we're going to talk, this part 2, how to solve problems. This is a big topic. Tell us what's going on right now.
Thank you, Lilou. Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity to allow me to get to you and to all of you. I know it takes courage to do something different, and I really appreciate your flexibility. Thank you so much. And I love to have you here.
Thank you.
Look, Lilou, I think in life we face many problems, and the important thing is that you are watching in your house, don't stay in the problem, because when you stay in the problem, you go into the dark side, into distress, into this sensation that is not nice and that will make you sick. Mm-hmm. And as the more time you stay in the problem, you stay in preoccupation, meaning you are not occupied, you are preoccupied. No? And many people stay in this state. Many people even think it's interesting. When you ask them, how are you? They say, oh, I'm very preoccupied because, no? And to be preoccupied, it means that you are stuck, mm-hmm. that you are not moving. So we want you to move.
Yeah.
We don't want you to stay there, no? So how can we move problems and translate them in a project? How can we move preoccupations into occupations? Because when you stop being preoccupied and then you move into being occupied in the solution, then you move from distress to eustress. And that is the important part, to move forward and get a better life, mm-hmm. a happier life. So I think it's very important this moment, because if you really learn at your home, if you really put like the timing and the energy and the attention for this very simple technique, and then you can change your life immediately, and then we can really move into another dimension of action. So the things that you need to do when you have a problem is, first of all, the first thing that we need to do is to define the problem in 5 words, no more than 5 words. If you are needing more than 5 words, for example, the problem is 2 points, and then you describe the problem in 5 words. If it doesn't fit the 5 words, it means you have more than one problem in what you think is one problem. Mm-hmm. For example, no? A lady comes to me and says, listen, Michel, I cannot stand my husband because he is lazy and he don't go to work, but he drink, and then he goes and hit me, then it's not a problem. It's many problems. Mm-hmm. And if you try to deal with many problems thinking that is one problem, you will not solve it. Mm-hmm. So
can we take an example? For example, for me, and I know some people from what I saw in the past too have this issue or problem, is to dealing with authority, dealing with somebody telling them what to do. Is that a problem? Can we take that as an example throughout the video?
Can you describe for me the problem in 5 words? The problem is
Authority.
authority. And give me a little bit more. Not only authority, but what is the problem? Explain me, but in 5 words. What happened with authority to you? Why do you see authority as a problem? Explain me in 5 words.
Telling me what to do. Somebody telling me what to do.
It's a problem?
It's a problem.
Okay, 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 okay. So the problem is, let's say, the problem is not somebody telling you what to do. Okay, let's say that's the problem. Okay, let's say, in other words, the problem is when someone tells me what to do, I get distressed. Okay. Okay, that's the problem. You get distressed with someone tell you what to do. Okay. So now we have already defined the problem in 5 words, okay? And it's one problem that we are looking at, okay? So, if you have this case, the second step will be why is this a problem for you? What are the causes of the problem? Could be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, okay? Once you have detected which one is the cause of the problem, then we're going to go to look for what is the cause of the problem. Let's follow, okay? Let's follow. So, what do you think? Why do you think you get distressed when somebody gives you an order?
Because I won't measure up to their expectation, and I prefer to be in charge.
Okay, so there's fear. There is fear about that you will maybe not get to their expectation. There is some fear. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's some of that there.
Okay, okay. So now we know that the cause of this distress is because you feel some fear about not getting to the expectations of the people that is making an order for you. Okay? Now, why? We have the cause. You follow, no? We have the cause of the problem. We have the problem in 5 words, and we have the cause of the problem. Now, we want the cause of the problem. So I'm going to ask you, why you feel fear about not to become at the level of the expectations of the person that is ordering you? Why do you think you have this fear?
I'm not good enough. Because I know myself of not measuring up to expectations.
Okay.
Because people have higher expectations than how I see myself. Okay. Or I know myself. Or.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Lilou, for opening up to us the way you are doing. Thank you so much.
Do you want to hold it?
So, no, it's okay. It's okay. Are you comfortable? Okay.
I'm quite used to this, remember?
Okay. So now we have the cause of the problem and the cause of the problem. Because Lilou is thinking, she is believing, okay? She has this false belief that she might not be good enough. So that means, if I'm correct, you correct me if I am wrong, that in your self-image, in your self-esteem, there is something that is wrong, because you can say, I'm excellent because you are excellent. I am very wise because you're very wise. I'm very talented because you are very talented. And I can put 100% of my attitude towards making the good things, the things good, in a good way. If you do that and you do not fulfill, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're doing your best. And either he's putting an expectation that is not correct, okay, or you can try again and do it better. But if you put 100% of yourself and you before take maybe 3 deep breath in and deep breath out, and get God, the light of God within you in each breath, no? And if you tell God, please, my Lord, act on me, use my body, use my mind, okay? I want to do the best, but you do it. You come into me and you use my body and my mind and you do the job. And then you do it. Then you are shifting from distress, from preoccupation about am I going to be able to do it or not, no? Into trust, into unity, into having all you, into knowing that you can. And then if you change this image about I cannot, that we discussed in the previous chapter, and you cancel it and you say cancel, I can do it. And I know I can do it and I'm going to do it. And you start doing it. Then the distress has gone. You know what I mean? So it's very interesting when you go for the problem, for the cause of the cause. If we had enough time, I will ask you, why do you have this fear or low self-image or this false belief that you are not enough? Do you know why? Do you have any clue?
No, I can blame my parents. I can go back to my childhood in some instances. I think I've just kept on finding justifications for that and reasons, and that's what I wanted to prove myself, I guess, throughout my life. So,
okay.
But the reason, no, I don't really know the reason.
Okay.
It just keeps on going on.
Okay. If we had time enough, I will be pulling your strength.
You're good at that.
But what I'm trying to say, it's when you pull a cause and the cause of the cause and the cause of the cause, you go very deep into the problem and you solve the problem forever. You know what I mean? It's like for you that you are at home, no? You go into your house and then you see a drop of water coming from the ceiling. You live in the building and you are in the 6th floor and you have 10 floors in the building. Normally what you do when you get and you have a drop coming, what do you do normally?
Put a bucket or something. Or you fix it.
Put a bucket and then normally?
Fix it.
Fix it. So you call the plumber and say, come, and he fix it. So let's say 2 weeks after you come and in your bedroom you have another drop in your pillow. What do you do now?
But if I do the same.
The same. And let's say 3 weeks after you go and in your dining room you have now in your table the drop. What will you do?
The same.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is if you don't go for the cause, you can solve and solve and solve and solve and keep solving and solving and solving problems, but you are not solving the cause.
Yeah.
You know? So if you bring the thing, why do I have this drop in the ceiling? No? So you bring someone to tell you, first of all, why do you have this drop?
Well, I think then the cause, listening to you right now, it's probably that I'm expecting others to give me the love that I don't give myself.
Okay, great. So this is a big answer. This is a great answer. If you work on that, you're going to solve a lot of things, not only this one. No? Okay. So, but going back into the pulling the cause of the cause, no? So you have this drop, no? So now you ask the plumber why, and the plumber say, well, somebody put this machine to make pressure, hydro pressure, no? That is bigger than your tubes. And then you have a second problem. The machine is bigger than the tubes. And then you say, why the machine is bigger than the tubes? Well, because the engineering calculated wrongly, and you had then a third problem. Because then you have to call him in order to charge the money to fix it. Because it was his problem, his responsibility. So now you have 3 problems. The drop, the machine being bigger, and trying to collect But I can assure you, you can say, well, it's much more complicated than fixing it. Yeah, but then you have to fix it 100 times. So when you get to the causes, you are going to fix it forever. Forever. You know what I mean? So first step, we define the problem in 5 words. No more than 5. If you have more than 5, you take a paper and write another problem that is in there. Then you get the causes, the cause of the cause of the cause, until you cannot pull anymore. Okay? And the third step, very simple one, is you create 5 solutions, not less than 5. Normally we tend to create one solution and we feel is the best solution. And 99% of the time, the first solution is not the best. If you keep on asking yourself for more solutions, you will have more solutions. So you need at least 5, Okay? So for example, you told me right now, well, I'm learning that maybe I'm looking into others, the approbation, and not in myself. You have one solution. You can come with 5 or with 10 or with 15. I can assure you. And all of them can be good. So you have already 5 good solutions that can solve the problem. When you have the 5, you come into the 4th step. And which one is the 4th step? It's very simple. You act. You take one of the 5 or 2 of the 5 or all the 5 and you act. Because if you stay home just watching and thinking that you solve it because you thought about the solution, then it's not solved. So you act. So right now, if you follow us, it's very simple for you. If you want to sleep tonight without the preoccupation, without a single preoccupation, and if you want to sleep tonight without a single problem, no problems, I recommend you to take a notebook, a nice notebook. You put the title of problems on the notebook, and you start by the first page. Try to write every single problem that you have right now. It doesn't matter how important it is. Any problem that you have, write it. Okay? And at the end, when you have them all, put a number on the left. And try to make it from the top from the most important problem to solve to the less important problem. So you say problem number 1 is this, problem number 2 is this, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So now that you prioritize all the problems that you got, we're going to start by problem number 1. So you go to the next page and you put the problem is 5 words. If there's if you cannot fit, then you go to the next page and put the other one. No? And when you go to the causes, every cause will be a problem itself. So you put the cause of the cause, you see it, and then you go to put it as a problem into another page. Okay? And then you start solving it. So I invite you tonight, and tonight. Okay? Because, there's no sense that we are all together, watching this video and not acting, because it will not be fair. No? So,
Did you see that?
So
it's on tape, Michel.
allowed me, okay, to challenge.
Done beautifully with love.
Thank you so much. So allow me, please, to challenge you. Allow me and to challenge you. Don't sleep tonight with your problems. Don't sleep tonight with your preoccupations. You got to solve them all. If you solve them all tonight, you know what's going to happen? It's going to change your whole life. If you dare not to go to bed tonight with a problem, with a preoccupation, it's going to change your life, and your life forever.
It's a spring cleaning, and today we're spring day. This is recorded the 21st of March, 2012.
For some reason, For some reason. So, I invite you to do this, and I invite you also to dare to follow each by one, until you end up. It might take you maybe 1 hour, maybe 3 hours, maybe 6 hours.
Depends how many luggage we're carrying.
But I can guarantee you that if you do it, you will rest. If you rest 2 hours at night, if you sleep 2 hours, 3 hours, but you solve all the problems, I guarantee you that the next day you will have much more energy than if you sleep 10 hours with your problems on top.
Because it's amazing how much otherwise our mind keeps on running, and we're thinking of things that don't even or might not even happen, and it's draining.
And then your dreams become influenced by the problems, and then this is not life. Being preoccupied is not living. You know what I mean? So
yes,
I dare you to accept this challenge. It's a strong challenge, but I bet it will change forever your life. And I have one more thing to give you. When you have problems of two variable things that are getting to you, no? Let's say that you like very much Pedro because he's very handsome and very virile and very strong, okay? And a giant that you like and you feel secure with him. But let's say that you have Juan that is more with the feminine, maybe energy, not so masculine. Maybe you don't feel so attracted for his physical body, no? But maybe he have a lot of work in his mind, in his consciousness. Maybe he have a very open heart that you love. Maybe he admires your work and wants to work with you in serving the world.
What are you doing right now? Michel? This man is something else, let me tell you. This is hilarious.
Well,
what a great example.
Because in life, we have many times two variables that are very good and very heavy at the same time, and you don't know which one to choose. And sometimes your mind will say, no, go to this one, and then the next day will say, no, but look at this side of this one, and you can keep on deciding for one day, for 1 month, for 1 year, or for many years, or for the whole life. And this is terrible, because indecision causes a lot of distress, okay? So, there is very nice technique, one very, very nice technique, no? When you come into this type of problems that you have, you want to do two things that you like very much. You're going to imagine that you choose one of them, and you use a paper. It's very important to use a paper and a pen, and you write. And for example, you will say, okay, I'm going to choose Juan. No, I decide for Juan. I'm going to write the pros of deciding for Juan, and I'm going to write under the cons against deciding for Juan. Once I write all the pros and all the cons, I'm going to put a qualification. How do you go from 1 to 10? I'm going to
rate it or prioritize it, or
no. I'm going to rate it. You're going to rate it, okay? So you say, for example, no, okay, Juan, he have a very nice consciousness and a very open heart. This to me value 10, okay? And then you go to the cons, for example, or let's say another pro, no? He cooks very well. Well, maybe I don't mind if he cooks very well or not. Maybe I put 7 to this, No? Then you go to the cons. Okay, I don't like him physically. Maybe in bed I will not like him. 10. You know? And you go to another one and you say, well, you know, he is a workaholic and he works all the time. Maybe 8. No? And then you say, well, you know, maybe he snores a little bit at night. No? Well, you say, well, I can wear earphones or something, and maybe I put 5 to that. You know? So you are putting in paper very objectively the rating of your decision. And at the end, you are going to add all the pros and divide it into them to get an average rate. And maybe you get, for example, 8 in pros, and maybe you get 10.5 in cons. And it doesn't mean that then you have absolutely your decision, but you will have a lot more clarity to take the decision. And most of the times, the qualification will tell you what to do. Most of the times. You know what I mean?
That's one of your tools to make decisions.
Exactly. When you cannot take a decision because you have 2 different things that you like to do and you have to choose from one of them, then you use this technique. You know what I mean? Because it's not lack of decisions, of solutions like before, but you have 2 different approaches that you want, both of them. So when you have 2 different approaches, you use this technique. And if you have 3 different approaches, suppose there is Pablo also, not only the 2, but Pablo too, no? And Pablo appears and he seems to be nice, and no? So you choose between 2, and then the winner, you make the competition with the 3rd one.
I have a question, because there is a lot of teachers that speak of the unknown and how important it is to be in the space of not knowing, and so some people, for example, I'm taking the example of job, hate their job, and they need to make a decision to leave their job, but they don't know what else is there. And sometimes what else is there is going to show up once we make that decision or we're in another space. So how do you deal with that, not knowing what the other choice is sometimes? Like you have to say no to something, not knowing if there is any better or something else that is going to come along.
If we are in this moment, Lilou, what we do is use the first technique. So we say, what is the problem? No, define the problem in 5 words, okay? The problem is that I'm not liking my job. I'm distressed. What are the causes that I'm distressed in my job? Let's say it's my boss, okay? My boss is I don't respect him, I don't like him, etc., etc. Okay, so let's go for solutions. I'm going to pick 5 solutions. So one of them is to change my boss. I go to the boss of my boss and I say, I love the company, it's the best company in the world, but I don't like my boss. I don't respect him. So can you please move me to another area? That's a possibility. Another possibility is to look for another job. There are many possibilities, but at least you get 5. So what we're trying to do is, as Narcissus was telling us yesterday, you close your mind for a little while in order for the ideas to get to you. There are many solutions that wants to get to your life. Many ways.
We block them most of the time.
Because we are so stressed by the situation. So we have to think of the problem and then get the solutions. And the solutions are there always. Always. And if you cannot think about 5 solutions, then you get a friend and ask friends. And they really help. Okay?
And play it as a game.
And also what I want to tell you is that problems of indecision of the second type, when you have a paper, keep it. Put a date on it and keep it. Because your mind will try to say, no, this is not right, you did wrong. And then when you saw when you can see and read why you took your decision, then you will understand and it will be much more clear. And if you have not taken the decision right away and another thing pops up, then you write it in the cons or the pros, and then it's much more simpler. So I don't know if this is clear or...
Yes, it is. It's really helpful, and I'm starting to list in my head all the problems. So it's gonna take you a while, I guess, at first. No.
So tonight you're going to work a lot.
He wants it to be tonight. So yes, coach. Well, this is wonderful because it's really tangible, and I can see how everything can get organized and really solve and open up, and because most of the time we get stuck with a problem and we just don't do anything with it, or we're so stressed about it and we're stuck, and that's it. We just let life eventually find another solution, I guess.
That's it. Well, let me suggest that we can promise to ourselves, and you too in your house.
You love those promises.
I love these promises.
Yes.
And you know why? Because if you don't promise to yourself, it will be a nice moment that we spend together, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
Yeah.
I mean, I
You're about transformation.
Yes. I really want that you change your life now, immediately.
Yeah.
Because we need to change now. I mean, it's 21 of March of the year 2012, the year of transformation. If you don't transform yourself right now, it might be that you will never transform yourself. It's right now or ever.
Look at Michel. Paf! It's now or never. We better do it, guys. Otherwise, ding ding.
So, I want to invite you, and you too, Lilou, to promise, to raise our right hands in order to anchor well this promise, and repeat with me, with closed eyes. No, I promise myself. That I will never sleep again.
That I will never sleep again.
With preoccupation. Or problems. I promise myself. That before sleeping. I'm going to change the preoccupations into occupation.
I'm going to change before going to bed the preoccupations into occupations.
And I'm going to change the problems into projects.
I'm going to change the problems into projects.
I do compromise myself.
I do promise myself.
I promise myself to get the problem in 5 words, to describe the problem in 5 words.
I promise to do the problems in 5 words.
I promise myself to get all the causes of the problem.
Promise myself to get all the causes of all the problems.
And treat them as different problems. And I promise myself to get at least 5 solutions for each.
And I promise to get 5 solutions for each, at least.
And I promise myself to follow the solutions and act.
And I promise myself to follow the solutions and act.
I promise myself to sleep tonight.
I promise myself to sleep tonight.
Without any preoccupation.
Without any preoccupation.
Without any problem.
Without any problem.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Yes. I love your story too of the straw. Can you tell us quickly? Because it's beautifully put here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lilou. I believe in friendship. Friendship to me is the most wonderful love, the most beautiful love.
It's for friendship, relationships, all of it really, isn't it?
Of course. But let's say, for example, if you have a friend, and imagine you have like a very big bowl that you and your friend are drinking with a straw. And this water is pure, and you like it, and you love it a lot. But suddenly a dove passed by and shits on it. Okay? So you got the pure water.
You heard it.
So you have the pure water and a shit on it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with this shit? Are you going to leave it there to melt? And if it melts, are you going to still drink from this water or not?
Not! Oh my goodness, what a picture.
So, when the dove shits your water, you have to immediately put your hand in the water and throw away the shit. So the water keeps clean. So it's very, very important that if you have any kind of resentment or any kind of thing that is not clear between what happened you and the other person, the thing that you have to do before going to bed, you're going to call this person or you're going to write by mail or whatever, but before going to bed, you are going either to ask for a clarification of the situation to give more light in it, or you are going to say, I'm disappointed because of this, and this. It's the only way that you will give them the opportunity to grow. Because maybe they didn't try to offend you, maybe they didn't even know that they were offending you, and if you tell them, you will clarify for them too. And you will allow them to say, listen, I'm sorry, it was not my intention. Or you can allow him also to say, I'm sorry, it was my intention because I had this resentment with you. It's the only way that you can keep the water clean and this love, this pure love clean, is this way. Before going to bed, always clarify or ask for a forgiveness, no? Either you ask for forgiveness or either you tell him, please ask for forgiveness because I'm resented. I don't know if this is clear. Do you think?
Yes, it is very clear. Thank you. This is very clear and very visual. I love imagery, so this is beautiful, I think, and a lot of people. It's very clear. We get it. We totally get it 100%.
Can we promise ourselves also?
Sure.
Okay. So we close our eyes. I promise myself not to go to bed with resentment or hate. I promise myself to call or write to the person that I feel resentment with and ask for a clarification or ask for forgiveness or ask to ask me for forgiveness so I can be okay with him or with her. Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Michel.
Thank you so much, Lilou.
This closes part 2. How fun is that? How new? Isn't it fun? Oh my goodness. You're quite something. Thank you.
Thank you
for your generosity and this fun moment with you. And it's a big piece. It's a big piece. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lilou. Thank you very much for your flexibility, for your love, for being here, and for being such a beautiful bridge between me and these wonderful people that watch you.
Wonderful, beautiful co-creators. Much love from Mexico.
Yes.